Every single day, the average person touches their phone over 2,000 times. We use it to connect. We use it to play. We use it to learn. We use it to navigate our world. The gateways to these digital experiences are applications, or apps. More than 99% of the apps downloaded worldwide are free of charge. There is no credit card required, no subscription fee to pay, no upfront cost to unlock features. They promise endless entertainment. They promise seamless productivity. They promise instant connection, all with a single tap of install. This model has created the largest, most engaged user base in human history. But this convenience comes with a question we rarely ask. How can a company afford to build, maintain, and update software for billions, all for free? The answer is simple, yet deeply unsettling. The app is free because you are not the customer. You, and your attention, are the product being sold. The currency you pay with is not money, it's your data. Every scroll, every like, every message, every location you share. Collected, cataloged, monetized. To understand how we arrived here, we must go back to the dawn of the smartphone era. Before the sleek glass rectangles we carry today, mobile phones were simple devices for calls for texts. But in 2007, the first iPhone was unveiled, and with it came a revolutionary concept, the App Store. It was a centralized, curated marketplace where developers could create and distribute software directly to users. Suddenly, the phone was no longer a static tool with fixed functions. It became a dynamic platform, limited only by developers' imagination. This innovation sparked a digital explosion. Early apps were often simple utilities. Calculator, weather app, notepad. Many carried a small price tag, typically 99 cents or a few dollars. This was a familiar model, a direct transaction where you paid a small fee for a product you wanted. The App Store was a walled garden, a secure and trusted environment. Apple reviewed every app, ensured it was free of malware, and met quality standards. The moment developers realized that the number of downloads was the ultimate metric of success, a digital gold rush began. The barrier of a 99-cent fee was proving to be a significant psychological hurdle for users. An app that was free, however, faced no such obstacle. The decision to download became frictionless, an act of pure curiosity. Why not try it? It costs nothing. Companies quickly pivoted. Individual developers quickly pivoted. Apps that were once paid became free. New apps were launched with a $0 price tag from the outset. The goal was no longer to earn $1 from one user. It was to acquire millions of users as quickly as possible. Venture capitalists poured billions. Investors poured billions. They weren't funding companies to build profitable products in the traditional sense. They were funding a race for market share, a competition to see who could build the largest audience the fastest. The prevailing logic was, get the users first, figure out how to make money later. As the global user base solidified, the competition shifted once again. With billions of people now on board, the new frontier was not acquiring more users, but capturing more of their time. This gave rise to what is now known as the attention economy companies. Hire armies of engineers, designers, psychologists to figure out how to get you to spend more of that time with them. Features like infinite scroll auto-playing videos and pull-to-refresh mechanisms were not created for a better user experience. They were modeled after the same principles as a slot machine, providing intermittent variable rewards that trigger a dopamine response in the brain, keeping you hooked and coming back for more. The red dot of a notification badge acts as an irresistible lure, a digital siren call that pulls you back into the app, interrupting your work, your family dinner, and even your sleep. The goal is to maximize time on device. The longer you stay, the more data points you generate, and the more ads you can be shown. There's a common saying in Silicon Valley that has now become a defining truth of the digital age. If you aren't paying for the product, you are the product. When you download a social media app, a mobile game, a utility without paying a cent, you are not the customer. The real customers are advertisers, political campaigns, other corporations. What are they buying? Access to your eyeballs, a highly detailed, personalized profile of who you are. Every action you take in a free app is a piece of data. Photos you like, articles you read, videos you watch, places you check in. how long you pause on a post. All of it is recorded, analyzed, added to your digital file. This isn't anonymous aggregated info. Your life, your interests, your habits, your desires. It's the most comprehensive market research dossier ever assembled, being built on a global scale. This model flipped traditional business. Instead of selling a product people pay for, the goal became to make a service so engaging, so addictive, people spend time on it. More time spent, more data generated. More data, more valuable your profile. You are not paying with your wallet. You are paying with your attention. You are paying with your privacy. This transaction happens silently, thousands of times a day, every time you unlock your phone. A business model of unprecedented scale, built on human experience. The primary engine that converts your data into cash is targeted advertising. This system is far more sophisticated than the billboards and television commercials of the past. It's dynamic, personalized, pervasive. It follows you across the digital world. The process begins the moment you open a free app. The app identifies you and accesses your user profile. Past behaviors, demographics, inferred interests, predicted future actions. When an ad space opens, on your social media feed, within a game, at the top of your search results, a signal is sent out to a massive digital marketplace. This signal contains your anonymized but highly detailed profile. It might include your location down to the city block, the brand of phone you're using, your relationship status, your political leanings, and the fact that you just searched for a new pair of running shoes. Advertisers from around the world then compete for the chance to show you their ad. They have already set their parameters, defining the exact type of person they want to target and how much they are willing to pay for that person's attention. A shoe company is willing to bid more for a user who has just been looking at running gear than for a user who has been reading about gardening. This is the power of targeting. Advertisers are not wasting money on people who aren't interested. They are paying a premium to reach individuals who have been algorithmically identified as being on the verge of making a purchase or holding a particular belief. Once the highest bidder wins, their ad is instantly loaded onto your screen. This entire auction, from the signal being sent to the ad being displayed, happens in the fraction of a second it takes for the app to load. Every free app you install is a negotiation. It offers you a service, and in return, it asks for access. Permission pop-ups appear. They ask if an app can access your location. They ask if an app can access your contacts. They ask if an app can access your photos. They ask if an app can access your microphone. In our haste, most of us tap allow without a second thought. We treat it as a mere formality. Each permission is a key. Each key unlocks a room in your digital house. One app can ask for a dozen keys. Over time, your apps hold a master key to your life. Of all the data your phone collects, your location is one of the most powerful and revealing. It is your digital shadow, tracking your every move in the physical world. When you grant an app location permissions, especially when you select Allow while using App Always Allow, you are providing a continuous stream of geographic coordinates. This data is far more than just a dot on a map. It paints a detailed picture of your life's patterns and routines. It reveals where you live, where you work, where your children go to school, which doctors you visit. Your phone becomes a personal tracking device that you willingly carry. Beyond tracking where you are, many apps want to see and hear your world. Permissions for your camera and microphone are among the most sensitive you can grant, yet we often provide them without a second thought for video calls, photo filters, or voice commands. The concern is not just that an app might use these sensors while you are actively engaged with it. The risk lies in the potential for these powerful sensors to be activated in the background, turning your phone into a listening device or a hidden camera. Our phones are increasingly designed to know our physical selves through biometrics. We unlock our devices with our fingerprints and our faces, creating a digital record of our most unique biological identifiers. The relentless engineering for engagement and the use of manipulative design have a direct and measurable impact on our mental well-being. The constant stream of notifications, the pressure to maintain a curated online persona, the endless comparison with the highlight reels of others' lives contribute to rising levels of anxiety, depression, loneliness, particularly among younger users. The validation-seeking loop of posting content, then anxiously checking for likes and comments, creates a fragile sense of self-worth that is dependent on the fickle judgment of a digital crowd. This environment is also a breeding ground for cyberbullying, online harassment. The same platforms that connect friends can be used to amplify cruelty on a massive scale. The perceived anonymity of the screen can embolden individuals to engage in behavior they would never consider in a face-to-face interaction. For the victims, there is no escape. The harassment follows them home in their pockets, buzzing with notifications that deliver fresh waves of abuse. The constant connectivity that these apps demand means that the schoolyard bully is no longer left at the school gates, but can continue their torment 24 hours a day, with devastating psychological consequences. Furthermore, the algorithmic amplification of content can push users down dangerous rabbit holes. The systems are designed to show you more of what you engage with. If a user shows a fleeting interest in content related to sadness, self-harm, the algorithm may interpret this as a preference and begin recommending more and more extreme content. This can create a feedback loop that isolates individuals and immerses them in communities that normalize and even encourage harmful behaviors, such as those promoting eating disorders, conspiracy theories. The algorithm has no moral compass. Its only goal is to maximize engagement, even if that engagement is with content that is profoundly damaging to the user's mental health. The same manipulative design and powerful targeting tools that companies use to sell products can be weaponized by malicious actors. The data that makes you the perfect target for a shoe ad also makes you the perfect target for a sophisticated scam. Scammers can purchase access to the same ad networks or buy lists from data brokers to identify vulnerable populations. They can target recent widows with fraudulent investment schemes or target elderly individuals with tech support scams that claim their computer is infected with a virus. Even when an app company has the best intentions and is not actively selling your raw data, a significant and unavoidable harm remains: the risk of a data breach. The business model of the free app economy requires companies to collect and store massive, centralized databases of sensitive user information. These databases are a honeypot and irresistible target for hackers and cybercriminals around the world. No matter how strong a company's security measures are, no system is impenetrable. It is not a question of if a company will be breached, but when. And when it happens, the personal information of millions of users can be stolen in an instant. The information stolen often includes usernames, passwords, email addresses, dates of birth, credit card numbers, social security numbers. This stolen data is then packaged and sold in bulk on the dark web, a hidden corner of the internet where criminals buy and sell illicit goods. Your login credentials for one breached service can be used by hackers to try to access your other accounts, a technique called credential stuffing, often successful because many people reuse the same passwords across different sites. The consequences for individuals whose data is exposed in a breach can be severe and long-lasting. It is the primary fuel for the identity theft and financial scams we've already discussed. A single breach can give criminals all the ammunition they need to wreak havoc on a person's life. You may have trusted the app, but that trust is violated the moment its servers are compromised. The company may issue an apology and offer a year of free credit monitoring, but the damage is already done. We have journeyed through the hidden architecture of the free app economy, from its seemingly innocent origins in the first app stores to the vast, complex machinery surveillance persuasion. We began with a simple tap on an install button, a moment of frictionless convenience. We end with the stark realization that this convenience has a profound and often invisible cost. The price we pay is not measured in dollars and cents. Our privacy, our attention, our mental well-being, our autonomy. Reclaiming our digital lives may seem like a daunting task, but the path forward begins with small, conscious actions. It starts with developing a new sense of digital hygiene. Before installing a new app, pause and ask critical questions. Does this app truly need access to my location? Does this app truly need access to my contacts? Does this app truly need access to my microphone to function? Take a few moments to go into your phone settings and review the permissions you have granted to your existing apps. You will likely be surprised by how much access you have given away. Turn off any permission that is not absolutely essential for the app's core purpose. Next, we must become more discerning consumers of digital services. Seek out and support alternatives that are built on a different business model. This could mean paying a few dollars for an app from a developer who respects your privacy, or choosing open-source platforms that are transparent about how they operate. Use privacy-enhancing tools like virtual private networks to shield your online activity from prying eyes. We vote with our clicks and our downloads, and choosing privacy-centric services sends a powerful message to the market. Beyond individual actions, we must also demand systemic change. The current model has thrived in a largely unregulated environment. We need clear, strong privacy laws that give individuals true ownership and control over their personal data. These regulations should mandate that companies use clear and honest design, banning manipulative dark patterns. They should enforce strict limits on what data can be collected and for what purpose, and hold companies financially accountable for the data breaches that result from their hoarding of information. As citizens, we must support organizations and advocate for policies that aim to create a more humane and equitable digital future. Ultimately, the goal is to recalibrate our relationship with technology. The apps on our phones should be our tools, not the other way around. This means making a conscious effort to unplug, to set boundaries, and to choose real-world connection over digital distraction. The hidden cost of free apps has been the quiet erosion of our control. The path to autonomy lies in recognizing that price making deliberate choices and demanding better from the companies that shape our digital world. The fine print has been written in invisible ink for too long. It is time we brought it into the light.